What is up, guys? Today I am so excited. Oh, I'm excited. Why am I excited?
Big boys.
We got the bad dogs out. 2 top of the line in the class. And today is a versus video. You guys know I love versus video. You know, I've been running a barbecue store for a little over a decade now. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think in the last 10 years, this is just me. I think I've perfected the steak. I know how to grill a steak. At least that's what people tell me. Do you guys just tell me that because I'm your boss?
No.
No? You actually,
good.
I'm pretty good?
Yeah.
I've cooked a lot of steaks, grilled a lot of steaks. I have 2 different ways that I like to grill steaks. 2 ways I've perfected. One of them involves a Kamado Joe. One of them involves a high heat gas grill. Today we're using the best infrared grill, using infrared heat, which is what a lot of restaurants do. We have the Lynx Professional Series, all tried in infrared. What's the versus? We have charcoal reverse sear versus regular sear. And on our favorite cut, Tomahawk steaks. All I need to say is it's time to shoot a stinking video, right?
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, you guys have to subscribe. Got to take care of a little business. Subscribe to our channel. Helps us out more ways than you guys know. If you're in the Denver, Colorado area, our showroom is in Westminster if you want to see these products in person for yourself. Come on, dude. Shooting a video, bro. Come on, bro. We also are fighting the weather out here, so it's gonna be fun. Already got the steaks out and ready, so we have no choice but to do it rain or shine. Last order of business. What am I rocking today? Jordan 3s, retro, 1987. Not an original colorway, but still fresh white mocha. Hard to beat, hard to top that. So I should start a sneakerhead channel. That's for another video. Okay, so the age-old debate, to sear or reverse sear, charcoal or gas. We're gonna accomplish both in one. My favorite way, I'm gonna show you how I set these up. Let's get the Kamado Joe fired up. I'm gonna show you the way that I reverse sear on a Kamado Joe. The Lynx is pretty straightforward because it's just a straight sear. But first, let's prep these steaks. I'm gonna prep them the exact same. I'm gonna internal probe them. I'm gonna cook them to the exact same temperature. And we're gonna blind taste test these. I'm not on the panel. I'm gonna know what's what. The employees inside, they're anxiously awaiting this video because they're gonna blind taste test it to see which one they like better. And hopefully settle the debate, which way is the most superior way to cook a steak. I'm torn myself because I do them both ways. I love the nice charcoal flavor of the reverse sear, but I think it's gonna be hard to beat the initial sear with that juicy flavor. Only one way to find out. Let's prep the steaks. All right, let's get our Kamado Joe set up first. So the way I'm doing this is, let me show you why I like Kamado Joe over competitors. I can do my divide and conquer system pretty much out of the box without buying anything extra. And now if I'm reverse searing, this is the way I like to set it up. Now you don't need all these fire squares. In fact, I forgot my Luft lighter. I meant to bring that to test it out. But anyways, we'll just go the old fashioned way and use fire squares. You definitely don't need 4 of them, but we're trying to get this video done, so I don't have 20 minutes to sit here with this. So you can see already I'm using our divider because again, we're gonna go dual zone. We're gonna go low and slow for the reverse, the beginning portion to lock in that flavor. And then we're gonna finish with a sear above the charcoal. So the way I like to do it, I'm gonna set that there. Now this is our actual cooking grate. This is what's cool with Kamado Joe is this is the only thing extra you have to buy. You don't have to use cast iron. In this case, you could use the regular cooking grate that comes with it. However, of course, Cast iron is gonna give you a better sear. And then this also comes with it. You don't have to have this, but just in case, we don't want any direct flame above. And we're gonna go way up top here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna smoke it here and then finish or reverse sear over the cast iron. So that's how we're gonna do this. So now we're just gonna let this heat up and let her prep. So you're supposed to plug this in, so I'm just gonna use a lighter. So let's do this here. Now with our gas, we don't have nearly the amount of prep work. So for our gas grill, much quicker and faster setup. So what I'm gonna do is on a normal steak, you could probably just sear it from beginning to end, but these tomahawks are so thick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go high heat sear here first and then move it over. I'm gonna have this burner not on as high and I'm gonna finish it there. So that's the plan. Now this is why I like Lynx. I told you why I like Kamado Joe, is the Lynx has the all trident burner. So see, it was almost like these linear tubes running down the grill with infrared heat. That's gonna allow for super even heat distribution with that trident shape. So that's unique to Lynx. Also over here, so this is on right now, believe it or not, but usually the biggest problem with infrared is they don't turn down low enough. So Lynx is the only one that makes an infrared burner that will actually turn down to 300 degrees. So we're gonna go high heat above 1,000 degrees here, then we'll finish low and slow. So we're doing the exact opposite between the two grills. We're going low and slow, finishing with a sear. Here we're starting with a sear and then finishing low and slow. Let's prep those steaks. Okay, so first thing when I'm prepping a steak, biggest mistake people make with red meat is they put them on ice cold. Is that a no-no?
That's a big no-no.
Big no-no? Why?
It tightens up the meat.
Tightens up the meat. So it's gonna be really tough. Those muscle fibers like kind of seize up if you put them on near frozen or even ice cold out of the refrigerator. So I like to set them out. A cut like this, you set out for a while. If they're smaller steaks, 20 minutes or so. Get them closer to room temp. Of course, you gotta be careful there. But when you do that, they get all this liquid on them. So I like to dab them first. Get them closer to room temp, step one. Step two, get all that liquid off of them. And then step three is we're gonna establish a base. Now, why is this important, Elijah?
Helps the seasoning stick.
Helps the seasoning stick. Now, again, this is a step that is often skipped, and it's a huge mistake. No one wants a non-seasoned cut of meat that the season just got knocked off on it, right? So you can use olive oils. You see some of my videos, I use mustard. That's more like on our, more of our bit longer cooks, like our brisket, stuff like that. With steaks, my favorite is olive oil because it gives it a nice little crunchy finish, and your seasoning is gonna stick really well to it. Next step is your seasoning. I don't like to get too cute with seasoning with steak. I don't like them over seasoned. I don't like them sugary. I don't like a lot going on. You can use just salt and pepper. That's one way to do it to make the perfect steak. This personally is my favorite rub that I've ever had for a steak. It's the Cosmos dry rub. We'll include links if you want it, but essentially what it is, sea salt, black pepper, garlic, organic cane sugar, which I don't taste the sugar in it, and spices. So it's essentially salt, pepper, and garlic. And it is just money on the steaks. Now, again, because we're dealing with thicker cuts, we're gonna go pretty generous because the slab is so thick. See that? So in the middle, that slab is so thick that the seasoning is not gonna get through it in the middle of the steak. So that's why you if you have a bigger cut, you do that. And then another mistake people make is they don't season the edges. Again, on a bigger cut, it's even more important. All right, then, again, for the taste test to be equal, it's really important that these steaks are cooked to the same temp. That way it doesn't persuade the tasters. So this is my favorite meat probe. I think it's important to meat probe to make the perfect steak because we want it at perfect temp. So while I have a messy hand here, I'll go ahead and get one of the meat probes in. Boom. Let's get another one in. This is the meter meat probes. I love them because they're totally wireless. Again, we'll include links. My favorite meat probe. So you guys are getting quite the tutorial here. Best way to season the steak. We'll find out the best way to cook a steak. Best meat probe to use. I mean, look at that mess. All right, so we're probed. We're ready. Let's check on our, I'm gonna wash my hands. Let's check on our grill, and then we're ready to put these bad boys on, right? Okay, so come on, bro. I'm shooting a video, man. This is not my day, not my afternoon, is it? No. All right, so I suspect the reverse sear is gonna take longer. It's important that these both finish at the same time. Again, so we have an equal taste test, so they're about the same temperature when they're served. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bad boy on first. So I'm gonna keep it as far away from the fire as I can. So that way it gets a nice smoke peel. So you can see we've got a nice ember bed down there. Right? And then let's seal her up. We want to make sure we're under 250, so I dampened it up pretty good. And again, right before we sear, we'll start climbing that temperature back up, but crack that baby a little bit. Let's see, we want it around 200-ish. Let's see if we can get there. So again, I know you guys are gonna be like, this isn't apples to apples, one's charcoal, one is gas. I know, that's the point. That's the idea, is to see which one is gonna make the perfect steak better, right?
Right.
Okay, all right, we're just below 200, perfect. Let me toss this because we're gonna finish these on a nice cutting board because these are ugly. So I have my meter block set up. So we got probe number 3 in our reverse sear. Ambient temperature inside the grill, 110. Are you looking at my cracked screen? Don't worry, it's just like a screen guard. Internal temp of the steak is 65. What we wanna do is we're gonna start reverse searing that around 100 degrees or so. So we wanna pull them at 120 because we're gonna have these medium rare. So we're gonna pull them at 120. So once that hits 100, we'll start searing it. And then I'm gonna say in about 5-10 minutes, we'll put this guy on. This is meat probe number 2. You can see it's at 61 degrees with an ambient temperature outside here of 70. A couple more minutes and we'll start on our gas grill. All right, I gotta do this part quietly because the guys are around the store. But this is what we're gonna serve our steaks on. So I thought to be able to identify them, I put painter's tape on one of them. So this is how I'm gonna keep my memory with this. Tape is sticky. Sticky starts with S. Sticky equals. You can't hear this part. Sticky equals sear.
He's got sticky ears.
So this one's gonna be the sear. The gas grill right here. Okay, that's how we're identifying it, but only we know that. Only we know that. Sear. Do you guys figure how my brain works? Tape is sticky. Sticky starts with an S. S equals sear. S equals sear. Got it? Gas grill. Okay, so this guy's at 80 degrees. I told you I'd start searing at about 100. But in the meantime, you can see our charcoal, it's out pretty good, but we've got some nice smoke going on. But see how that's kind of getting that sort of pink red around? So that's gonna give us that nice smoke flavor. Problem is this is my fear, is that the reverse sear dries this out a little bit more compared to the Lynx. So my prediction is that the Lynx steak or the gas grill is gonna be juicier. So I think what it's gonna come down to is I think this one's gonna have a better flavor because of the charcoal, but this steak's gonna be juicier. Which feature is gonna be more important? That's the question. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I gotta start getting these charcoals red hot. So I'm gonna open up everything as this nears 100 degrees and really get this charcoal ripping. And I think we can, what do you say? You think it's about time to start on this guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you ready? Let's do it. Oh yeah. So I've never cooked these side by side, so I'm kind of shooting in the dark here. But again, we want both of these to finish at 120 at about the same time. So while this is going, I thought this would be good to showcase this. Here's what else is awesome about infrared cooking. You see any flare-ups?
Nope, none.
We've had a couple, but what happens to them?
Gone like that.
Gone like that. They're just incinerated because you're cooking at such high heat. You don't see that? Gone immediately. So flare-ups are not a problem. All right, let's flip this and see how pretty she's looking. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a checkerboard, just beautiful. Now, this is what I was afraid of. This one's catching the Kamado quicker, but we're almost done searing here, so it's gonna start to slow down, whereas we haven't even started searing here, so I'm hoping they should balance out pretty good. We'll see though. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to move it over to a cooler spot on the grill. Now the reason is, if this was a smaller cut, if it wasn't a Tomahawk, if I was cooking on a gas grill, I would just sear it straight. I wouldn't even move it. I'd just sear it for a couple minutes each side. What I did is I did 3 minutes each rotation because it's so big, and we gotta move it over. The reason we're doing that is we just don't want the outside to get too burnt while the inside is still raw because it's such a thick cut of meat. So we're gonna get ready to move it over here in a minute. Let's see how we did with this side. Not quite as pretty, but look at that bubbling. You can tell that that's just searing. Now we can close the lid, kind of let them do their thing. Now we started getting this up to temp, and you can see, oh yeah, if that's not gonna sear, I don't know what will, right? Am I right, or am I right?
You're right, you're right.
But see, this is still hot, but it's keeping it away from direct flame, so we're still kind of low and slow up here. This one's we're almost ready to sear on. Now what we can do is we can get a little indirect cooking going on our gas grill. Another cool feature to use. That's where we're using the heat from this burner to warm up our whole firebox to almost work like an oven, if that makes sense. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. That's what we're gonna do here. I'm pulling a audible for us. Let me just do it this side so that way it's even. And I'm gonna put them in the middle where there's no direct heat, and then let this kind of cook like an oven. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna put it in the middle where there's no burner above it, and then I'm gonna turn both of these infrared burners on high, and then let this start to work more like a convection style oven. That's why I love gas grills, so you can do so much with them. These are my 2 favorite machines. If I could only have 2 grills, that sounds weird to say. I'm a grill guy, so I have many grills, and of course we cook on a ton of stuff here. If I were to have 2, these would be the 2 fuel types I'd have. I'd have a good gas grill and a good charcoal grill, my 2 favorite fuel types. Now that we're getting ready to pull, can't let anyone out here because the gig will be up, right? So again, we got it labeled for when we take it inside, our tape, and then we got nothing on this one. Let's check our temps. Wow, it smells fantastic. See how it's just getting a nice bubble? You can tell it's just cooking. Fantastic. Oh no. Our meter probe disconnected. We're gonna have to just eyeball it.
Yes.
All right, this guy's at 102 degrees. I think it's time to reverse sear it. Oh, you can hear it kind of going. Oh man, this direct flame, it's gonna sear real nice. Now, unlike the gas grill, with charcoal, you 100% have a chance of flare-ups. So we're gonna have to kind of sit here and babysit this. All right, let's flip this, see how I did. Oh yeah. Look at those checker marks. So we ran into a technical difficulty, and I brought my meat probes from home, and at home they're connected to Wi-Fi. Here at work, they're just using Bluetooth, and my gas grill got disconnected. I don't know what's happening with this one, but it's stuck at 104, and I know it's hotter than 104. So guess what? Going in blind. So I'm really putting my skills to the test here. I have a feeling this one is about done. So I just shut off the burners. See, it's nice and hot. You can hear it sizzling in there. Want to keep it warm. I don't want to pull it yet because I want the heat. So I'm just gonna leave it. And something definitely happened to this guy because it's been at 104 since I started searing it. So our probe failed me here too. That doesn't mean it's not a good product. I love it, I use it all the time. I think because I'm connected to Bluetooth instead of my Wi-Fi, and I put my phone in my pocket and went inside for a minute, and I think that's when it disconnected and I ran into problems. All right, it's time for our final quarter turn. Pretty good sear marks. Let's see what our quarter turn gives us. All right, we got another 3 minutes on that quarter turn, and then these babies are getting pulled, period. See, look at this. We're getting some nice little flare-ups. And that's kind of the fun with charcoal. You can't get rid of that. It's just gonna stay on fire. So it looks like our probe reconnected. What are we sitting at? 118, which should be absolutely perfect. So I might not have screwed this up. All right, 120. Let's do it. You ready? Let's check out our sear marks. Oh my goodness. Look at that beautiful goodness. Let's close up our Kamado Joe, get our fire out, gas grill time. Look at that. You ready for the next biggest mistake people make? You know what that is?
Let it rest.
Let it rest. People don't let their steak rest, they just cut into it, and that's just idiotic. We know what this one is, right? We don't want to say it too loud, remember? It looks juicier to me, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
And this one looks a little more pink. I think that's from the smoke. See that? Mm-hmm. My personal taste, I think I'm gonna favor the juiciness over the smoky flavor. That's just me. Also, I think the guys will be able to figure it out right away because of the smoky flavor of this. But that doesn't mean we don't know which one they're gonna like better, right? All right, should we have the contestants just take a little peek-see?
Yeah.
Contestants, come examine the steaks. They don't know which one is which, but they can take a look. No, not out loud. In your head, you can guess.
Okay.
So you guys guess in your head, and then I'm gonna slice and dice. Do you feel good about it?
We're not going to see which one you pull off of to give to us.
You
Because I
didn't
feel like in my head I figured it out.
already just by eyeballing it.
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see which one you cut. I want to see if I can figure it out with my mouth and then see if my eyes are right.
All right, we'll get a paper plate then. All right, let's cut these up. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is pull the probe. So cut it right off the bone. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give them the same piece. So I like to cut this fat cap off here, okay? And we're gonna go get rid of that fat. Cut here. Oh my goodness, did I just cook that perfect or what? Look at that, get a close up of those slices. Okay, let's give them this first, okay? They each get one slice. Oh my word, what have I done? This looks so good. Look at that.
We get it first, boss.
I haven't even tasted these yet. So don't touch that yet. All right. Okay, guys, start with the one on the left. Start with the one on the left.
Is our preference?
Nope, go ahead.
So Zane, you have the mic, you start first.
How is it?
Super good. Juicy.
Okay. No one's gonna want to watch that on YouTube. Is that I hear you say super good?
It's delicious.
Juicy.
Hold on, they don't have the mic. You don't have the mic, Tate.
It's really, everybody hates the word moist, but hey, it's really moist. And salty on the exterior. It reminds me of like a piece of prime rib, personally.
It's super good. That first bite I had like the perfect amount of fat.
I said don't say super good. It's boring.
It's awesomely good. It's so good. It's tender, but the outside is pretty crisp. It's not bad. Definitely delicious. Definitely a great ribeye. Are we allowed to go to the next one?
Yep, go to the next one.
I'll give you the big piece.
This one doesn't have as crispy of edges.
It doesn't have what?
Doesn't have as crispy of edges.
Okay. Tell me what's different about it.
Oh,
Softer.
Softer. Like more tender, you mean? Or
Yeah,
like
like
what,
more-
in what way?
Yeah, like,
Floppier?
yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't tell me how it tastes, though. All right, just give it to Brian. Give the mic to Brian.
I think the flavor is similar. I think this, and it might be my cut, but it's a little chewy, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's not as tender.
Right, maybe that's what I'm looking for. Not as tender. I think the flavor is about the same though to me, but
Really?
the texture is different. It's like a little bit more chewy in the mouth.
The first one had more flavor. I had more flavor in the first one, and then the second one. The second one I tasted a lot more salt and pepper and a lot less of the meat. The first one I tasted a lot of meat. It was really good. Had a lot more flavor in it. That wasn't just salt and pepper.
In any of the two, are you picking up any charcoal flavor in each one? Any of them?
I'm saying the second one.
I didn't really notice a difference in that regard.
Which one's which?
I think the first one was the charcoal.
I think the first one.
I think I tasted smoke in the first one as opposed to the second one.
Brian?
I'm going number 2 is charcoal.
Okay. Based off the smoke profile? Or just a hunch?
After you like mentioned it, I kind of get a little hint of it at the
Okay.
end, but that's more of a hunch. Second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying charcoal on the second one too. Taste that smoke.
Okay.
Tate's more of an expert though.
That's true. He's the man.
So which one do you prefer? If you're gonna eat the whole steak, which one would you want?
Number 1.
I'm saying 1, 2.
All three of you say number 1.
Yep.
All right, now I'm gonna taste it quick without telling you, and I'm gonna see which one I prefer. I know what they are, and then I'm gonna tell you which one's what. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going with the one without the tape,
Get that first.
and just you and I, Elijah, know what that means, right?
Yep.
I really like my steak super rare.
You don't?
To me, that's part of it.
I mean, it was absolutely delicious. Like I said, I think I've perfected the steak, so it tastes out of this world. I'm not gonna comment too much on it until I tell them what it is, but it's very, very good.
If I'm right, I'm yelling at you.
So that's the number 1,
You may.
100% juicier, 100%. Out of the two, no question, I like number 1 better. I agree with all three of these guys. Number 1 was a cut above. No pun intended, cut above. I will say this, if I was served either one of these at a restaurant, I would eat them.
Yeah, I promise it's down to the bone on both plates.
Either way, I was satisfied. All right,
Everybody.
time for the big reveal. Again, Tate, you're saying the one on the left was the charcoal. The other guys are saying the one on the right is the charcoal. You guys want to put anything on it? On who's right and who's wrong?
Lunch next week.
You guys want to do like
I'll
a
do
free,
lunch on
like
it.
I was going to offer you something better, but yeah, let's go with lunch.
Next person has to bring in the steaks
Tate's
for
kid.
lunch.
I was going to give you guys a paid day. Whoever's right gets a paid day off, but we'll just do lunch instead since that's what they chose small. So, but all of you are in agreement you prefer number 1, the one on the left.
And if I'm right, Trevor buys us lunch. If you guys are right, Trevor buys us lunch.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
so the one on the left is the gas grill. So Tate, you are wrong. Not only are you wrong, but you all liked the gas grill better.
Wow.
The one on the right is the charcoal grill. Wouldn't you take, isn't it obvious that the juicier one would be the gas grill, the initial sear? Shouldn't that be?
Anything.
Tate's like, yeah, like I'm like, you know, I work at a barbecue shop and I sell these grills more than the other two guys, and I'm an expert. I know which one's which. Zane just runs the floor machine, so he doesn't know. False. So we're all in conclusion that
So this is reverse sear?
No.
No, this is
The gas
seared,
grill is
that's reverse.
seared. So the gas grill seared is the majority favorite. The Kamado reverse sear is a second favorite.
Still
That
really
being
good.
said,
That's Randy's favorite, though.
yeah, it is Randy's favorite. So Randy, one of our guys here, tried it too. That's his favorite. So we're gonna go with majority rules on this one. Gas grill is king, but I think they're 1A and 1B in my opinion. They're still.
That's what you're cooking too. If
Don't
this
it-
is- if this- if-
Don't interrupt.
if this
Don't
is a-
interrupt me again. I'm trying to do my wrap up.
If this is a pork butt, I think we're having a different discussion.
That's a different video. Why are you even bringing up a pork butt?
Because you said 1A and 1B. If it's pork butt sitting here, it's 1
I'm talking about
1.
steaks. 1A and 1B with steaks.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So either way, these are the two best ways to cook a steak, in my opinion. Two best machines to cook a steak on, hands down. So that's the conclusion. Searing a steak is the way to go. I got to end this video because everyone's hungry.
What do you guys want for lunch next week?
Let me finish. Can I finish my wrap up?
Steak then?
Let me do my wrap up.
If you're in the Denver metro area, come up.
If you're in the Denver metro area, come to our showroom today. Check these out. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. See you guys next time.